This video is rated 18, suitable only for persons of 18 and over.
Hello YouTube, LJ Draco here. Yes, so today, as you can tell by the title, it is a contest entry. Now with me, I don't really do contest entries because I don't really have luck with winning. However, I do always still do like a response or a video because it's about taking part. You know, things happen in life, whether they're good or bad, we just have to learn to accept it. It's just about joining in, having a bit of fun anyway. But I thought this time, you know, I'll try and enter, you know. Might as well. If you win something, you win something. If you don't, you don't. At least you took part. That's the main part of the whole concept of joining in these things. Anyway, it is her road to 1,000 subscribers, which are very well deserved and very well earned. Content is brilliant. If you haven't checked out her channel or her content, link to her channel will be in the description below. Just go and show her some support. You know, she deserves it. So, she's got 2 questions she wants to ask everyone, and she would like a response. So, question 1. What is the most scariest or disturbing film you've ever seen? Now, as everyone who knows me, well, my main category of movie growing up was horror. I do like all types of movies. I like musicals, I like romance, I like action, family movies. But horror was my jam. You know, horror was my main category. I had a whole bookshelf full of horror. And I've seen a lot of films. Now, I explain this all the time, that real life or true story based horrors are always going to be frightening because that shit's actually happened. Therefore, you know, you'd think those are going to be my scariest and most disturbing film I've ever seen. And you would be very wrong if you thought so. The most scariest and disturbing film I've ever watched in my life, and probably going to get some flack for saying it, but I'm going to explain why afterwards. Anyway, it is Paranormal Activity, the first Paranormal Activity. Why was that film so disturbing? Let me explain. Growing up where I did, I witnessed some shit I wish I never did. I've experienced things that were not exactly able to be explained. And that shit stuck with me all my life. Things still happen to this day in random places I go, people's houses I visit, or random shops I go in. Just things that cannot be explained tend to follow me and my family quite a bit. So, explaining as if why this is terrifying. The actors in this film, who actually made this film, are very believable in their roles. And when I first watched this, there was no explanation that it was just a film. I did do research to see if it was just a film or if it was like one of those found footage that's based on a true story. Or, you know, was it anything like Blair Witch Project, you know. But there was no explanation on this film. There was no cast information. There was no story information from what I could find. All that I could find was, you know, it's a couple move into a house and things go wrong kind of thing. And when I watched it, that gradual subtlety, how it starts out, is chilling. Because as for anyone who's experienced things that they can't explain, I know there's a lot of skeptics out there, a lot of people that have their own opinions, and that's fine. But to anyone who has experienced things that they can't explain, it's how it mostly starts. It's little by little, gradual by gradual, until eventually, boom, it blows up into these big bursts of things that you just don't know what you're talking about, don't know what you can explain, or anything like that. So watching this film was reminding me of a lot of stuff, but not only that, I said they were very believable. You had the fear in their voices, the way they did a lot of the camera shots, the way they made it look believable. I mean, and that's what terrified me the most, was the fact that I was questioning the film, myself, and my surroundings. And I'm not going to lie, the reason this film shook me up, it's not because of them screaming or because of the loud bangs. It's the fact that it shows a lot of the stuff happens when they're peacefully asleep in their home. And that is a very as anyone knows, your home is where you're supposed to feel safe. Now, we know that there can be bad people out there that try and break into your home or harass your house and stuff. But the thing that's more terrifying than an actual person harassing your home or trying to get in is something already in your home that you can't see or defend yourself against. That is absolutely mortifying. So every door that slammed without explanation, every footstep, every shadow, when the main girl gets dragged out of the bed by her feet. And she screams as she's clawing the floor. That is absolutely mortifying, and that is why it is my scariest and most disturbing film I've seen, because it put me on edge after. I couldn't sleep for a couple of nights afterwards when I first ever watched that film. And I still find it very difficult to watch that film sometimes, because there's certain things that's happening in that film that I have been through myself. So it's also very difficult to, yeah. But yeah, so that's my answer to question 1. Very dragged out. Now, question 2. This was a very difficult one, and I hope that this still counts. I really hope this counts. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least I took part. But I hope it counts. Question 2 is, what is your favourite Scream Factory or Arrow video release? Now, very difficult to explain. I was not aware of whether this question actually means, she explained the question very well. But to me, because I'm an idiot, I don't know whether she means favourite release that you own or favourite releases in general. So, for the safe side of things, I chose 2 that I own. But my favourite is the, ones that I don't own. My favourite is Scream Factory release is probably their version of the first Silent Hill. Stunning artwork, stunning disc art, tons of special features. It's a very beautiful release. I love anything that looks artistic, and the sleeve that they've gone with is freaking... I'll put a picture of it here. It just looks amazing compared to what we got and some of its other artwork. It's so much more nicer. I can content with that. But, as I said, I went with a safer route. Only other issue is, I have one from each that I can't... They're both kind of equal in my mind, and I'll explain why. But they are both equal in my mind. So I'll start with Arrow first, and my favouriteest Arrow release, it has to be the American Werewolf in London set. Now, this is my favourite Arrow video release for 3 reasons. Key 1 reason. 1, because this is my first ever special edition Arrow release, and as anyone who knows me, when I get the first of a specific set, it does stick with my heart, and I get upset if I have to get rid of it, or I get upset if I part with it, and stuff like that. So I'm trying my best to make sure that I don't separate with this, just because it was my first Arrow limited edition box set. And second reason is because it comes with a ton of cool features. It comes with a beautiful double-sided poster. The box is lovely. It's about the presentation of the set. And 3, because it's probably my second favourite. Actually, no, I'll tell a lie. I normally say to people that my first favourite werewolf movie would have to go as Teen Wolf. However, after watching this recently and watching that transformation scene in that woman's living room, no, this has to win, because that scene looks so freaking amazing, even till today. So this has to be my favourite Arrow video release. Now this is where I had to kind of tie up between Arrow and Scream Factory, because this is my first... so naturally, people are probably going, oh, it's probably going to be his first Scream Factory. No. Reason it's not my first Scream Factory is because, 1, the disc to that belongs now to my friend Sasha, and 2, because I was not a fan of Mad Max the film at all. So it's definitely not. It's actually going to be this other Scream Factory that I have. Now, I currently own 5. I have got a 6th on its way, which is... I'll leave for a video to do. But that's a beautiful film. However, I found out recently while ordering another Scream Factory film that this Scream Factory release went out of print last year. And I didn't know that it went out of print. Now, you can get this in the UK from a different company. However, it's not the US edition. And from what I've been told, I don't know if it's true, so don't quote me on it, but this is meant to be an unrated version of the film, whereas the UK 88 films release is not unrated, therefore it's got a lot of stuff missing from it. I didn't know either of those either. I didn't know it was unrated. I didn't know it was out of print either. I'll put well, I'll explain what it is first, then I'll put a picture to show it went out of print in around October 2019. And it is Swamp Thing. Now, the reason this is my favourite Scream Factory release is, one, it's my first ever out-of-print title, which is pretty cool. I've never had an out-of-print title, so to get this is pretty awesome. Also, it's the fact that this only cost me like £8 off a guy off eBay. So to know that I paid, I think it was like last year or... yeah, it must have been middle of last year I actually bought this. Yeah, I bought this for like £8 off eBay off some guy. And to know that roughly around the time I bought it, it went out of print and was worth a lot more than about £8, I'm like, wow. Okay, so this is my first like rare out of print titles. So, plus not just that, I do love this artwork. And now I know that this artwork is on the 88 release, but the thing is, I actually really like these posters on the inside and these like images from the movie. Plus, I really like the release. The release is really good. They did a good job on making this look a bit more modern, and it made it look not so old. Plus, I said I'm just rambling now. Yeah. So picture here to prove it was on the out of print list for last year. So that's why these two are my favourites between the two, because I've got my first limited edition and my first out of print from two different and very wonderful companies. However, if anyone was to ever ask me what is my favourite company, Arrow or Scream Factory, I will announce it here. Scream Factory will always win for many reasons. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah, that's my contest entry. I hope my questions were answered fairly. She'll obviously tell me if they're not. I wish Lauren nothing but luck on her 1,000 subscribers. I wish her many more by next year. I wish her channel goes so much further than it has now, because she deserves every subscriber she gets and the best of what her channel brings to people on YouTube. So her video, her contest entry video and her channel, I will link them in the description below, so you can find the video straight away if you want to take part, or her channel if you want to just go straight to subscribe. Anyway, that's it. Take care, you wonderful, wonderful people, and I shall see you next time.